Hey fellas, food for thought. What's the most random thing I could talk about? If you thought taxidermy, you're wrong. It's actually health foods. As presented by one of the Beach Boys. I've run out of ideas. Merry Christmas.
The Beach Boys, one of America's most famous rock and roll bands. Since the 60s, the band has entertained millions around the world with their surf rock music to everything that Pet Sounds is, and of course health foods. Now, to understand how we got from one of the greatest albums of all time to Tomatoes, it's important to understand the history surrounding this era of the band. In the late 60s, the band was experiencing major creative differences, which led the lead singer, songwriter, and producer of the group, Brian Wilson, to fall into a bit of a mental spiral. So of course he did the reasonable thing and opened up a health food store.
I can't do this!
Opened in mid-1969 with the help of his cousin Steve Korthok and friend Arnie Jello, Brian Wilson was finally able to live out his lifelong dream of selling cucumbers. Because if Jeffrey Dahmer can enjoy being an alcoholic, anybody can do anything. Wilson definitely had a big interest in health before opening the store with the 1967 song Vegetables. The song was all about brushing your teeth, eating vegetables, and staying healthy, which speaks volumes about a man who was in very bad shape at the time. But of course, that's only the story leading up to the opening of the store. The store itself, it's a health food store. What do you want me to say? They sold vitamins? Because, yeah, they did. The store operated at very irregular hours. Wilson would literally open the store whenever he felt like it. He could open the damn thing at 2 a.m. Do you know how tough that is for customers? The man would literally rock up in a goddamn bathrobe in the middle of the night and sell strawberries. What was his goal here?
I desperately need vitamin B12.
We're closed. It's midday.
Please, you're the only place in the area. I'm gonna die!
The store closed a year later. It's not like I'm shocked or anything. People want midday strawberries, not midnight strawberries. That's just disgusting. It doesn't help that the store wasn't very profitable. There was a farmer's market right next door. The Radiant Radish lived a very short life, but an interesting one nonetheless. Name me another store that sold strawberries at 2 a.m. The store has definitely held a legacy though. Thousands of Beach Boys fans remember it nowadays as a very interesting thing that Brian Wilson did in the 60s. That doesn't narrow down a thing. There have been many tributes over the years, with the Beach Boys Instagram page posting it every now and then, and even a lot of art referencing it recently. Nowadays, the former location of the Radiant Radish is for lease, so if you ever want to defame Brian Wilson, just buy the location out and restart the store on your own. It is worth noting though that a few years ago the location was a temporary showroom for Virginia Black, Drake's whiskey brand. The fact that two musicians leased out the exact same location just to promote products that had nothing to do with what they were famous for is the funniest coincidence ever, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
The Radiant Radish, definitely one of the stores of all time. They sell cucumbers. Really, the only reason I'm talking about the place though is because I'm so hung up on the past. I ordered tomatoes from there 51 years ago and they were faulty, yet I never got my refund. But you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm gonna call up the Radiant Radish and demand a refund.
Hi, this is Brian Wilson.
The cucumbers were faulty.
Weren't they tomatoes?
I demand a refund!